Hey guys, we are dealing this weekend in some big time and very powerful emotional energy. We've got a couple things going on. First of all, to start our weekend on Friday, we have the moon ruling our emotions, coming into a conjunction with Mars. This is the first moon Mars conjunction since Mars turned retrograde, and this could really be bringing up some passionate and intense emotions. We want to be very careful emotionally reacting to things this weekend, you guys. Moving into Saturday and Sunday, we are entering black moon energy. The moon is moving into the sign of Cancer, where the black moon is currently located. This is also setting up a kite aspect and also a grand trine in water signs that is going to be playing out over Saturday and into Sunday. This is featuring the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that we have going on loosely right now in the sign of Pisces. This big stellium of planets, Sun, Mercury, Venus, South Node in the sign of Scorpio, Pluto in Capricorn, and the moon and the black moon in the sign of Cancer. We are also dealing with an activated black moon Pluto opposition as a major feature of this dynamic this weekend as well. Deep, transformative purging, purification, regeneration, release on an emotional level. This is what we're dealing with. It's likely to be pretty intense and very emotional. Literal like tidal waves of emotions surging from the depths and spilling out this weekend. So let's get into the breakdown of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, see what these charts are looking like and what we may be able to anticipate as we go throughout the course of our weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, November 11th, 2022. There's some numerology right there. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. We're going to break down the energy for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and see what this weekend may be bringing us. Again, you guys, like it seems like we are in a quite significant weekend in the context of what actually this entire new moon in Scorpio cycle has been trying to do for us. There is a major emphasis this weekend on some emotional release in regards to past patterns of behavior or thinking or feeling or acting that have been self-sabotaging or unhealthy or toxic or stealing our power or causing us to surrender our power to something that's not good for us, or creating some type of an attachment that is keeping us from recognizing the truth of our value. Remember, we are also in a year right now, we are also in a cycle right now, and an eclipse season right now, which is all about trying to remove the things from our life that are standing in the way, blocking our perception of, limiting our ability to see and align with the truth of the value and the potential and the worth and the resources that we hold inside of us, and really gain a much greater relationship to ourself, a much greater sense of self-love and self-value and self-worth based on the discovery of these resources and of this potential within us that universe really wants us to begin a process of tapping into and cultivating and nurturing and, developing to its fullest potential as we are in a galactic phase of collective self-actualization and a transition of ages. And this is where universe is pulling us to really go through this process of self-actualizing through transcending our states of victimhood and cutting off the areas where, again, we have been surrendering our power or that have been stealing our power or that have been blocking our ability to really discover the truth of who we are and like what our authentic purpose in this life really is, so that we can go down this path that it will lead us eventually to a much greater state of personal fulfillment. As this 222 year is trying to bring us, and here we are, you guys, 11/11/22. That's like 222 2222 all over the place today, heading into this weekend that is talking about some major detachment from some of these more toxic emotions perhaps, and also this sort of rebirth on these like very deep levels. It's like sort of we're getting a galactic, cosmic, collective reprogramming over the course of this weekend. It's so interesting as well because we're talking about all of this release and the Scorpio energy. And right now, this eclipse cycle that we're in is a South Node eclipse cycle. The South Node of the moon right now is at 14 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is telephone linesman at work installing new connections. And I do feel like this eclipse cycle, this full moon, this new moon cycle that we're in right now in Scorpio really has been working towards that purpose of sort of recalibrating or reprogramming or creating like these new neural paths within the depths of our psyche to help us break these addictions or, stop surrendering our power, or again cut off that which has been stealing our power through this recognition of our value and of our potential and of our worth, and this newly arrived at desire that we may be feeling to follow this soul calling, follow this path, really like align with what we're discovering about ourselves and begin to step into embody that and have our world around us start a process of reflecting this new version of ourselves that we are becoming now. So that is essentially like the overall picture, the overall story of what this period in time generally is trying to do for all of us on this collective level in this transition of ages. And this weekend, it may really just be really hitting us hard on sort of like a gut emotional level. First of all, and in order for this process to happen, a lot of times it has to bring up these deeper, darker emotions. There may really be some ugly truths that are coming up for us this weekend. We may find ourselves really struggling to control these like very deep and powerful and intense like emotional impulses that may be rising within us. It starts on Friday, because we have the moon ruling our emotions, coming into the conjunction, as I said in my intro, with Mars in the sign of Gemini, who is currently retrograde. And this was the first moon Mars conjunction since Mars turned retrograde. So this is really going to be emphasizing what's going on with Mars right now. And we also have to remember, you guys, Mars is the ruler of the current lunar cycle that we are in at the moment. And so whatever is happening with Mars these days throughout all of Scorpio season, when we've got all these Scorpio planets, is very important. And the moon is also, a very important planet. It's the fastest moving planet next to Mercury, and it is responsible. It's like a trigger planet, like it activates things. When the moon is making a contact to a planet, especially a significant planet like Mars right now, like it has a tendency of triggering things, activating things, causing things to happen. Moon and Mars together, Mars can be anger. The moon is our emotions. This can be, and we're talking about the sign of Gemini, and we're talking about retrograde energy. This is a lack of self-control, okay? This is rash, reckless, impulsive actions as a result of some type of an emotional trigger or an emotional eruption or some type of like impassioned feeling that comes to us. This is also an over attachment in terms of our ego to our ideas and to our feelings. So this is people also like really feeling a need to be on the defense or feel like they're being attacked if people are criticizing or judgmental or have something to say about their ideas or about their opinions. This can really make people lash out, because it's like you're not just criticizing like my ideas, or you're not just criticizing, my thoughts or my opinions about something. When Mars is there in the conjunction, this is the ego, this is the self. It's like there's like an attachment between these two things. So it's like you're actually criticizing me, and therefore I need to come for you. And so we could definitely be seeing this type of thing playing out, especially also with Mars currently in a square to Neptune. This is a lack of rationality. This is delusional behavior. This is a lack of coherence. And again, just Neptune also like dissolves boundaries and stuff. This is not holding back. This is just letting things go and letting it flow. And we have Jupiter there as well, which is a planet of expansion in the square, expanding this energy. There is a real need, you guys, to practice a level of self-discipline and self-control today. That's very important. And we really need to be careful, again, that we are not letting our emotions get the best of us and carry us into some type of action that may actually not really be in our best interests. We really need to be careful acting on these emotions on Fridays. They could be strong and irrational, these urges that are sort of arising within us. And this could also have to do specifically with like home or family or the mother or women. Generally, there could be like issues going on surrounding women today as well, because of the moon, the mother, the woman, the feminine archetype and Mars, fights, conflicts, anger, issues, stuff like that. This is also talking about the moon, which is Cancer, which is the home, the family, the hometown, the community, the roots, where we're feeling attached to. We could feel, and then, Saturday and Sunday, we're moving into this black moon energy as well. So we could feel threatened, or there could be some type of risk, or we could feel under attack in some type of a way, or just insecure. Anger turned inwards on this emotional level can also result in depression. So this could just be some hostility or some depression or some fear or some, again, like feeling under attack in some way in regards to things regarding our safety and our security and our ability to feel like accepted and nurtured and loved and like cared for and looked after, or regarding our ability to do that for others as well, to like give and receive this level of nurturing, care, acceptance, love, all of this. And also our ability to really, be successful in the world and to be able to pursue our goals and to like manifest something tangible for ourselves. We could also really be questioning this as well with the Cancer Capricorn axis that's being lit up this weekend, more as we move into Saturday and Sunday. But we also have a square going on big time between the stellium of planets in Scorpio and Saturn currently in the sign of Aquarius, which can also put an emphasis on, feeling like there's like impediments or blockages or just these big obstacles that we have to conquer in order to achieve a level of success. And really like some self-doubt could really be coming up in this as well, with the square going on between Mars and Gemini retrograde to Neptune in the sign of Pisces retrograde as well. This could really be having us with the moon there feeling insecure and really questioning whether or not we have the ability to pursue our goals, to go through this process of rebirth, to become this new person. But honestly, like, it's kind of out of our control this weekend, and there are just these very powerful emotion-based energies that are about to flow through and flood the fields over the course of Saturday and Sunday that are really going to be doing a lot of this for us, I feel like, in some type of way. But a lot of it honestly is going to be happening on these very deep and subconscious levels. I don't know that this is going to be like something that we're very conscious of as it's playing out. It is likely to be manifesting more in terms of just some very turbulent or stormy or intense, powerful emotions or like cathartic experiences that may be going on. And of course, we're also talking about Mars in the sign of Gemini squaring Neptune, and Jupiter now also there in the sign of Pisces. This is also to me referencing things having to do with oil. This could have to do with like these very powerful like hurricanes and water-based storms, like I was saying about Mars squaring Neptune in the sign of Pisces. This is just like angry seas, and we've already seen this big hurricane that's played out in Florida. I'm not really surprised that that has happened in the context of the way that this energy is going on right now, but something along those lines could also be like very involved in like a spread of information or communication or messaging today, also talking about like how we're going to take action to resolve these problems with Mars retrograde also in the sign of Gemini. There could be a lot of communication about damage that's been caused through these, storms and stuff, and that's probably like very obvious in the context of what's going on right now. But I just want to show you guys that it is also being indicated by this configuration of planets like Mars retrograde, like going back to fix things, and the spread of information in the sign of Gemini, really talking about making plans, making strategies. And then we have Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces, this like these like big powerful wars of water, you know what I mean, like angry seas, storms, hurricanes. But it looks like in this energy there is definitely going to be effort to like fix things or get things under control over the weekend. But it is really referencing some type of potential for like big storms and stuff like that may be playing out. So there's that as well. But issues with power and control very much also could be coming up in this energy with all of these Scorpio planets and this Mars energy and this Scorpio season. And of course as well, this square to Saturn that we have going on. We've got a square to Saturn, especially like involving the sun or Mars too. Mars is not on the square to Saturn, but Mars is ruling the position of these planets in Scorpio. This can be like a clash of wills, a clash of egos, power struggles, just things really building to a head. It can bring up issues with authority, with bosses, things having to do with like career and like worldly facets of our lives as well. But issues with power control, very tense energy that we could be navigating on Friday for sure. And we may be finding ourselves sort of wanting to work towards solving problems. That is one of the benefits, I feel like, of this Mars retrograde that we have playing out in the sign of Gemini, is I feel like it's like sort of backtracking and helping us come up with solutions with this air-based, idea-based Gemini energy through conversations or through what we're learning or through taking a second look at things or reconsidering, coming up with ways to actually like solve our problems and remedy things. So that is also something that I feel like is being highlighted on one hand with the moon coming there as well. Maybe some like intuitive hunches or something, or just some deep like ideas or solutions to problems that have been plaguing us like on an emotional level, or some type of emotional or ideas or learning about ways to heal, perhaps also on like deeper emotional levels, like getting some information about that could be coming through on Friday as well. But we are, not seeing things exactly clearly in this energy. This is distortions in our understanding, and therefore distortions in our feelings and distortions in our actions. And we don't, again, like I said, want to be just flying off the handle and impulsively reacting to something based on some type of like very impassioned emotion that may be rising up within us, especially specifically on Friday, because again, like it could with Mars retrograde cause us to do something that is actually working against our progress or the ability for us to like learn our lessons and like have success in whatever we're dealing with at this point in time. Also with the square going on to Saturn as well, so we really want to be careful with that on Friday. Also, because of Mercury, Venus, Sun in Scorpio, in the square to Saturn, there could be some focusing or over focusing or like a narrow minded focus sort of going on our failures or on our weaknesses or on our limitations or on things that we feel like are holding us back at this point in time as well. And this could be in turn leading to some of these more heated or passionate arguments or conversations or power struggles or clashes of wills, as we may be really trying to like break through some resistances, and doing so through these intense emotions that are just sort of like spilling out of us at this point in time. Intense emotions, though, are likely to be driving whatever is happening, whatever is playing out all weekend long. Definitely on Friday. I mean, it's really like the moon is kind of running the show all weekend, and the moon runs our emotions, because the moon is what is triggering this Mars retrograde energy and activating the dynamic that we have on Friday. And then the moon is going to be moving the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, right? So this is like the purest moon energy that we have going on. And then the moon is what is making all these aspects happen as well over the weekend into Saturday and Sunday, that is bringing into fruition this water trine energy and this black moon energy and this Pluto energy. So the moon, you guys, our emotions are really what is all about this weekend. So we really want to do our best not to let our emotions control us and run the show. This is also about us learning to separate ourselves from our emotional impulses with the Saturn square energy as well, and practice self-discipline and practice self-control and make smart choices, and not just rush into something because we are, feeling triggered about this, that, or the other thing, which is likely as the energy plays out this weekend. Jupiter, though, I will tell you guys, Jupiter is a bit of a saving grace that we have playing out, specifically also in the energy on Friday. Jupiter is actually making aspect to both Venus and Mars, who are ruling our current eclipse seasons, because the North Node is in Taurus, ruled by Venus, the South Node is in Scorpio, ruled by Mars, and we just had this full moon in the sign of Taurus. So both Venus and Mars are very important in the context of the eclipse energy, the nodal axis that we are navigating at this point in time. And it's interesting as well because they are both at the same degrees of their signs right now. Mars is at 25 degrees of Gemini and Venus is at 25 degrees of Scorpio. And they are both making aspect today to Jupiter, who is currently at 30 degrees of the sign of Pisces. This is not an exact aspect. Of course, they are both 5 degrees off. They're both at 25 degrees and Jupiter is at 30 degrees. So this is not super close, exact. But I do still feel like it's prominent and it's worth talking about. And we have Mars forming the square to Jupiter in Pisces, and we have Venus and Scorpio forming the trine to Jupiter in Pisces as well. Now, this is what is actually about to switch things up for us over this next couple weeks. the Scorpio planets that I keep talking about, the stellium of planets that we have in Scorpio, Venus, the Sun, Mercury, moving into the later degrees of Scorpio, they are all about to start coming into a trine with Jupiter in the end of Pisces. And this is a very benefic influence. This is a very powerful influence. Jupiter is the ancient ruler of the sign of Pisces. Jupiter performs and is very pure and very benefic in the sign of Pisces. And with this trine that is coming in over this next couple weeks, this is really going to do a lot to bring back hope and positivity and expand our sense of like optimism and feeling like and faith and trust and belief and like feeling like everything's going to be okay. This is going to bring some good news. This is going to bring some blessings in terms of like love and romance and relationships and connections, and in terms of just like our relationship to our own life and our desire to thrive and like come. It's going to bring some beautiful, positive, expansive energy that is really going to benefit us over this next couple weeks. And it's going to start here as Venus begins to move into this beautiful water trine with Jupiter, which I am kind of bringing in today, even though we still have this 5-degree orb going on. But in the context, I feel like, of all this more difficult energy that we simultaneously have playing out right now, this Jupiter influence is kind of giving us a little bit of guidance in terms of how we may be able to remedy the more conflicting energy as it is playing out. And this is that, that faith, that trust, that belief, hope, and the desire to grow, expand, and create are the remedies that we can sort of fall back on if we come to a point where we decide that we are ready to surrender the burden of what we're struggling with and trust that we are in the hand of God, we are in the hand of universe and great spirit, and everything is unfolding according to our highest and our best. If we are able to somehow disregard what appears to be happening in this present moment and align with this Jupiter energy of this faith and trust in the divine and in ourselves and in the bigger picture and in the plan that's unfolding, this is really going to benefit us moving through this energy and actually be much more conducive to a more successful navigation of this period of time. And it's less likely to cause us to sort of like work to our own detriment, as could be very possible in the context of all of this emotional energy as well. But staying strong in our faith, keeping our chin up no matter what is playing out this weekend, you guys, through this period of conflict and struggle, or this dynamic, drastic, unexpected, shocking change that may be going on, using these more difficult or challenging experiences really as a springboard to transformation and personal growth. This is what Jupiter and the planets will actually reward if that is a way that we are able to, use this energy as it's playing out, as opposed to attaching to the maybe more critical or judgmental or negative feelings and mindsets, and allowing ourselves to become like sort of a vessel for this anger that may be welling up within us. If we can allow ourselves to release these things, let it sort of roll off our back, allow these emotions to flow through us, but not to sweep us away in like a tidal wave, you know what I mean? Or a tsunami rather, could also be, what this is kind of about. I think that we will just generally have a much better experience as we go through this period of energy that's playing out this weekend. So on Friday, with all of this Scorpio energy as well, all these planets in Scorpio, they're also in the opposition to Uranus. We can't forget that too. And like I've been saying, like, we are awakening to the truth of our value, and that is causing a release from that which has been blocking us from doing that up till this point in time, essentially. And us being in this full moon eclipse window right now as well, we are in this period of major awakenings and secrets revealed. That's what's driving a lot of this too, you guys. We are finding out a lot of things that we didn't know about, and because we didn't know about them, we made certain choices and decisions. But now that we are finding out the truth, we are realizing that the choices and the decisions that we have made are really not in alignment with what we would have decided had we known originally, like what was actually going on. So that is also where this Mars retrograde and this Mars square Neptune, this breaking the spell energy, is coming into things as well. We are gaining some major awareness, perhaps, of things that have been hidden from us, or that we just haven't understood fully or haven't understood correctly. And some of this may also be like driving this outrage potentially that's going on today, or just whatever may be bothering us on an emotional level. This could also just be like a sense of internalized irritation, just like feeling frustrated, feeling hostile, just like not really know where it's coming from, just like an internalized sense of just some angst, perhaps. And again, it's just something that we need to deal with. This energy today will be fleeting. Once we get through this Mars Moon conjunction, this will pass and we'll be in these more turbulent emotions, or just like deep emotions. Less angry emotions, but some deep emotions coming Saturday and Sunday. But there could just be this, this just like internalized sense of tension and hostility and frustration and angst that we are dealing with, or depression as well, with this anger, like internalized, can turn to depression and the energy on Friday. We also have Venus and the Sun on Friday at interesting degrees. The Sun is at 20 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is a woman drawing aside two dark curtains that close the entrance to a sacred pathway. And we have Venus at 25 Scorpio, an X-ray photograph. So again, like the position of the Sun and Venus, which are significant planets in the energy on Friday, are also talking about seeing something or something being exposed, or something becoming transparent, or seeing the truth of something that has been closed off to us, and it's revealing the mysteries in one way or another. And this again could be triggering some type of emotional reaction. So we want to keep it together, you guys, to the best of our ability in the energy for Friday. Let's talk about Saturday now. Moving into Saturday, this is when the emotions get very deep. Friday, we may feel quite fired up, quite lively, quite impassioned, quite ready to sort of fight for what we believe in, or fight for what we feel, or fight for what we're thinking, like kind of more aggressive, hostile energy, hot-headed energy that we were dealing with on Friday. But when the moon moves into Cancer on Saturday, this is really just putting us probably most likely like all in the feels. And this is Saturday and Sunday energy is very similar, although it just intensifies and it deepens and it expands as we go into Sunday. We're actually starting the day Saturday in void of course energy. The moon, after it leaves the sign of Gemini, is not going to be making any exact specific aspects until we get through a good portion of the day on Saturday, at which point the moon will begin forming a trine to the south node in the sign of Scorpio. So actually the first, and Chiron also in the sign of Aries. So actually the first aspects that the moon will make once it enters Cancer on Saturday have to do with this like hero's journey energy, this wounded healer teacher energy, Chiron archetype on an emotional level, could be triggering and bringing up some like very deep wounding so that we can gain some type of an awareness and learn what needs to be done to heal it at this point in time. But also forming the trine to the south node, this is facilitating the release of exactly that, exactly what we need to let go of in order to heal. So actually it could be a quite painful energy in terms of just feelings that we are navigating to start the day, or as we go through the day rather, especially midway through the day heading into the day on Sunday. Like there could be just some deep traumas or some painful feelings, or just some difficult feelings, or some things that are making us feel again like wounded or triggered coming up. But there is a divine facilitation, a karmic facilitation that is also a part of this, that is about releasing exactly that which has been causing this wounding or this pain. So it's actually a very positive activation that we have going on to start this Cancer trine, water trine energy, black moon energy on Saturday. But again, like it probably isn't going to feel very good as we are going through it. Really bringing up these deep emotions, and also could be fears of loss, specifically again regarding the home family. Yesterday and Friday we had the moon themes, the Cancer themes coming through strong because of the moon conjunction to Mars. But today we are continuing on with these strengthened Cancer moon themes, because we have the moon, which we were talking about yesterday, conjunct Mars, but even being highlighted and expanded even more as it is moving into the sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon itself, and also triggering and activating this black moon energy. Currently we have the black moon transiting the sign of Cancer. It takes the black moon 9 months to transit a sign. whenever the moon comes into the sign where the black moon is or the sign opposing the black moon, this triggers and activates this black moon energy. Black moon works in polarities. And so right now when we are having the moon coming into the sign of Cancer, of course it is triggering the black moon in Cancer. And the black moon in Cancer energy, this is our fears, our worries, our insecurities, our doubts, our negative subconscious programming, and our essentially like our shadow side issues, the aspects of our psyche that play a very strong and powerful role in actually creating our conscious experiences without us really being aware of them. This is, the programming that's developed within us as a result of our traumas or our woundings, the ways that we've learned to be that are not necessarily having anything to do with helping us to create the conscious experience in life that we want to live, but rather are having everything to do with keeping us in patterns of experiencing the same type of trauma over and over again so that we can gain a conscious awareness of it and go through this Chiron energy, go through this hero's journey energy of transmutation, our states of victimhood into states of self-mastery, ultimately release what is being facilitated by the South Node today so that we can come into this, like I just said, place of self-mastery, which is correlated to this process of self-actualization, activating our destiny, developing our potential, everything that universe is pulling us towards right now in our transition into the age of Aquarius. So very relevant in the context of all that is playing out right now, but black moon issues, fears, worries, insecurities, doubts in regards to these Cancer themes, home, family, our ability to be successful, our ability to provide nurturing, care, love, support, security for ourselves, for others, where we feel accepted, where we feel cast out, where we feel like we can't fit into part of the group, and issues related to the mother, issues related to community, hometown, roots, like family, what goes on behind closed doors. These are the type of things that could really be triggering some fears or that are coming up in regards to our own subconscious programming and a need to recalibrate these connections, to install new connections, to recalibrate our algorithms and reprogram like our internal computer so that we can start getting a different output based on us being ready to receive a different experience through us consciously cracking the codes of our own algorithm. That is what this energy is pushing for. But in order to do that, you guys, it is bringing up most likely these more painful experiences because pain irritates things, right? It makes us look and see what's going on so that we can solve the problem. And that's why, you guys, that's why these emotions are happening. This energy is happening at this point in time in the context of all that's playing out. Major transformations through a release, purge, detachment from these toxic attachments and negative subconscious programming of primarily the past, with the South Node being so activated right now as well. Now, like I said, to start the day on Saturday, we are in void of course moon energy, so things may be a bit up in the air. Our plans may be a bit all over the place. We may feel like we're sort of in a void ourselves and not knowing how we feel and not knowing what to do and not knowing what to act, or, just kind of questioning how we feel about things generally. We may feel sort of just like stuck in the moment or uninspired to really do anything or make a choice or not really know what's going on, kind of void of course. So yeah, we don't know, but it is definitely likely to be quite emotional as we are going through this day. The release, endings, loss, transformation energy really being facilitated, like I said, of this entire cycle. I feel like these are some imperative days that this whole Scorpio cycle has been sort of leading towards, because the themes represented, if you guys watched my Scorpio new moon or my November overview, a lot of the themes represented that were likely to be playing out and indicated on those days with those charts are being, activated in this energy as it is playing out this weekend. So yes, we are likely to, again, really be feeling it on an emotional level. We also have almost a perfect kite aspect planetarily playing out on Saturday, but specifically even more so into Sunday. Sunday, we are also going to have this activation of this grand water trine energy. This is not exact on Saturday, but we are building into it for sure. And, it's still the Cancer energy. So, very similar vibes going on between Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday is likely to be just more intense and more expansive and powerful in terms of these emotions that are sort of spilling over, spilling out, or that are just generally like flooding the energetic field. Because, okay, listen to this. We've got Sun, Mercury, Venus, South Node, right, in the sign of Scorpio. later degrees. Sun, Venus, Mercury moving in the later degrees of Scorpio. I just got done talking about how we're moving towards this period of time where these planets are going to be forming the trine to Jupiter in the end of Pisces, which is going to be doing some really good things for us. Now, we also have Neptune currently and Jupiter in the end of Pisces. So here's a trine that is setting up between this stellium of planets in the sign of Scorpio and also Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Now, Capricorn is the sign that is the midpoint sign between both Scorpio and Pisces. So Pluto, who is in the end of Capricorn, is forming a sextile aspect to the planets who are both in the end of Scorpio and in the end of Pisces. And then, you guys, we have the black moon in the sign of Cancer. The black moon works in oppositions, setting up only 2 degrees off right now from exact opposition to Pluto. This is like the Lord and the Lordess of the underworld coming into exact opposition with each other, reflecting off one another. This is setting up a period, you guys, Pluto and the black moon in opposition to each other, of some huge transformations in regards to our shadow side issues and our subconscious programming and the things that hold us back and keep us stuck in these patterns and keep us attached to these karmic cycles of trauma and not being able to create the reality that we want for ourselves. We are approaching a period of time where there is some major purification and purging that is going to be going on in that regard as well, in regard to the black moon issues generally. And this weekend is really emphasizing that because, like I said, the moon in Cancer is also going to be coming into the conjunction with the black moon tomorrow. That will be what is setting up our grand trine energy on Sunday, is we will have the moon conjunct the black moon, forming a trine, because the black moon right now is at 24 degrees of Cancer. So we've got the 24 degree of Cancer black moon, we've got Neptune at 24 Pisces, Jupiter at 30 Pisces, the moon will be with the black moon at 24 Cancer, then we've got Venus, the sun, and Mercury all in those same 20 degree ranges of the sign of Scorpio, and then Pluto sitting opposite the black moon in the sign of Capricorn. So this is like so powerful, especially on an emotional level with the moon there as well. It's like hard to find words that explain the level of like cathartic cleansing that could potentially be coming with this alignment of planets, the purge, release, purification, regeneration of these toxic attachments, specifically the black moon issues, the subconscious patterns that have been keeping us out of or draining or stealing our power or preventing us, blocking us, limiting us, obstructing us from realizing and developing the truth of our value and our potential. This is like obstructions removed, you guys. That's sort of how I feel about this weekend. Universe is sort of coming through and helping us to remove obstructions on an emotional level that have been preventing us from aligning with, or that have been keeping us in a state of self-doubt in regards to the truth of our value, our potential, our resources. I really feel like a broken record that I keep saying the same things over and over and over and over again, but it's just very clear what the emphasis is at this point in time. And we can't, it just has to be stated over and over and over again, because it's so important that we are rediscovering who we are and that we are seeing the value in that, and that it is inspiring us to create, and it is inspiring us to fulfill a dimension of ourselves that has been neglected at this point in time. And through that process, it's going to shift our whole vibration, you guys, and allow us to experience a world that is reflecting back to us so much more fulfillment in terms of, our level of purpose that we're experiencing and across the various realms and dimensions of our lives. It's really just going to bring a much more fulfilling life experience to us generally. And this process that we're going through right now, it's actually a healing process. That's what this is at its core, is a profound process of healing and release. It's a karmic detox, and we are healing some very, very deep wounds, and it's stinging a lot to clean them out and to, put the medicine and the bandages, to put the remedies on there. But once we've gone through this process and we really truly begin to heal, the result is going to, how we're going to feel after. Once we are coming from this more healed place, when we have been operating with these wounds for so long, it's just going to be a total life switch too. And that is what makes sense, you guys, in the context of us being in this literal paradigm shift and shift of ages right now. So that's really what this is all about. Scorpio stellium coming into the trine with Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, both forming the sextile to Pluto in Capricorn, who is opposite the black moon in the sign of Cancer, with the moon in Cancer as well. Like, it's just all about releasing us from that, our fears too. We're conquering our fears. We're releasing our fears. We're overcoming our fears. And through that process, we are discovering how powerful we are. And therefore, we are gaining a new level of value and respect for ourselves, which is playing into this whole process as well. Pluto and the black moon in this opposition, they're what is supporting the flow of energy between these Pisces and Scorpio planets. There is this massive spiritual component coming in as well. Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, this expansive spiritual energy that is in the trine to these Scorpio planets, trying to facilitate this release and this alignment also with the truth, the real core truth of our heart, and what needs to be done to heal, regenerate, and transcend, to transmute, to phoenix out of whatever we've been going on. There's this massive spiritual component, and it is helping us to take back our power from our own shadows, conquering our fears, slaying our demons, breaking addictions, coming back into a place of self-empowerment based on the faith that we are gaining also in ourselves and the enhanced level of spiritual connection that we are realizing is available to us at this period of time as well. We even have the position of the sun on Saturday, 21 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is obeying their conscience. A soldier resists orders. Like I was just saying, there is this need to get in alignment with the core truths of who we are and what we value and what our preferences are and what our morals are, and to stick by those and not allow ourselves to be swayed anymore by the need to appease an image or an ideal or a status or a symbol or a setting or like whatever. We are obeying our conscience, and as a result of that, perhaps turning our back on the places where we used to surrender our power in the past. We also have the Earth on Saturday, 21 degrees of Taurus. A moving finger points to significant passages in a book. And again, I feel like this has to do with that which we are learning, that which we are becoming aware of, the ways that our mind is changing and expanding based on perhaps these secrets or these revelations or these awakenings, this new understanding, this new perception, this new information also that may be coming to us at this point in time. Now let's move on and talk about Sunday now. Happy birthday to my baby. This is his 5th birthday. Happy birthday, Shiloh. We love you so much, and you get a grand water trine on your birthday. It is a very, very powerful emotional day that we have playing out on Sunday. Massively powerful emotions just flooding the field, like I've been saying, and there could be some ugliness, there could be some aggression, there could be fears, insecurities, triggers that are really, really what is driving this. We have our exact black moon activation that is going on Sunday. The moon conjoining the black moon. This is what is giving us this grand trine in water between Jupiter, Neptune, Pisces, moon, black moon, Cancer, sun, Venus, Mercury in the sign of Taurus, in the sign of Scorpio, and then Pluto opposite the black moon in the sign of Cancer. This is like a flood. This is like a tidal wave. This is like a tsunami of feelings that are rising up from the deepest parts of our mind, our soul, our heart, that just need to be expressed. We are likely to be in one way or another very, very much in our feelings on Sunday. And that is really, the crux of the whole day. That's really what the primary energy is. And it carries over everything, that I was saying about Saturday very much still applies in the energy on Sunday. And really, you guys, this is just this, it's just this cathartic experience is what we may be dealing with. It's like these powerful emotions that are arising within us, but it's for the purpose of release, healing, and regeneration. And, all weekend also, while we are navigating these difficult emotional energy, we also have the square to Saturn simultaneously playing out. And Saturn rules Capricorn, where Pluto is right now. And so it really it could also be these things that we feel like we're up against, or these resistances, or these blocks, or these obstructions that are driving this very strong sense of like emotions or this fear or just these more like negative feelings that we're dealing with. It could really have to do with whatever's playing out with the Sun Saturn square and all these Mercury Saturn square, planets in square to Saturn as well. But ultimately, like I said, you guys, like this is for the purpose, this is driving us towards a greater sense of self-empowerment through our ability to overcome, our ability to persevere. It's like universe is trying to teach us what we're truly capable of in this energy. And as a result of that, learning our strengths, learning our ability to endure, learning what we can overcome, we are gaining this new sense of self-respect, this new sense of self-empowerment, this new sense of self-worth. And this is also turning the table in terms of what we are willing to give our power away to. This is universe putting us all in positions where we are essentially being forced to take our power back in one way or another. And, you know, it's also putting us in positions that might like totally break us. If we are completely off course and off track and out of alignment with our truth and with where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be doing, if we have just built up like a very lofty karmic load that is not in alignment with who we truly are or what our soul is trying to evolve into right now, there may just be some experiences that we need to navigate, some lessons that we need to learn, some ways that we need to be broken down so that we can build ourselves back up in a way that can't go through this type of destruction again. We are, this is Phoenix rising energy, but half of the Phoenix rising energy is the burning it all down part. And that is something that may be coming through starting this weekend and heading through this weekend as well. Could be just an emphasis on water for some reason. Lots and lots of big, powerful water energy, especially with Jupiter there expanding things, both in the square to Mars and in the trine with these planets. Very powerful, very triggered though. I will say that with Pluto and the black moon in the opposition and the moon coming there and the sign of Cancer, very, very triggered. We may feel like no one cares about us. We may just feel like we're on our own in the world. We may feel like we can't do it on our own. We may be questioning whether we can take care of ourselves or our families or, our home, or we may feel like we're very cast out from our community or like no one understands us or like, we don't have support, like all these type of things. This is just what it is, and it really could be taking us on an emotional journey through the underworld. That's where we're going. We're going on an emotional journey through the underworld, but when we emerge and when we come out the other side, you guys, it will be a whole new day. The moon will be coming into Leo, and we will be starting this new week next week where we have the Jupiter trines beginning to activate. So this is the dark before the light, you guys. This is sort of like that dark night of the soul energy very much as well that we may be navigating this weekend. But next week there will be a return of the light, there will be a return of the sun, and there will be some positive changes, radical reversals almost. So do not get overly attached, and don't make it worse for yourself. Please don't make it worse for yourself by shooting the messenger or doing something drastic that is just not going to ultimately benefit you in the long run out of a lack of self-control. Remember, Saturn square, self-discipline, self-control, strategy, focus, concentration, slowing things down. This is what is going to help us. And also this Jupiter energy, surrendering to our faith, trusting the plan, not overly attaching to what is happening on the ground, but gaining that higher perspective, surrendering the burden, knowing that things are working in our best interest. Every man is a golden link in the chain of my good. If it's happening now, if you're here now, whether it seems that way or not, it's for my benefit somehow going forward. This is where we're at. This is what we're holding on to. This is our story, and we're sticking to it. So that's what I have to say, you guys, for the energy as it's playing out this weekend. Likely to be a very intense weekend. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe, what's one piece of advice that can benefit us and support us? What should we hold on to as we are going through this weekend so we don't get swept away in this flood of emotions? Yep, it says, rest, relax, believe. We don't want to take things over the top. We don't want to overdo it this weekend, you guys. He feedeth among the lilies until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. Oh, That is so perfect. What did I just get done saying? After we get through this Cancer energy, after we get through this weekend and this black moon energy, the shadow side energy, when the moon leaves Cancer, the moon will do what? It will move into Leo, which is what? It's ruled by the sun. And when that happens, the moon, is also going to be forming a trine to Jupiter, but we're going to have some Jupiter energy that is going to be coming in and radically switching things up over the course of the next couple weeks. So that's literally exactly what I was just saying. We just need to get through this period of time, not overreact. By the time we get through the end of the weekend, things will change. The day breaks, the moon moves to Leo, the light returns, and the shadows flee away. Song of Solomon 2:16 through 17. If you're feeling kind of hopeless, maybe you want to go and read that verse. I don't know. It's just very perfect the way that this is coming out. Okay. Take refuge among the lilies of God in heaven and dwell upon the concepts of joy, harmony, peace, beauty, and divine law and order. All your plans, journeys, and undertakings will prosper. Continue in this abiding trust and faith in God until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. It's literally exactly what I was just saying. That's our remedy, you guys. That's how we get through this energy, creating the fewest amount of waves for ourselves. All of our plans, things are going to be switching up. Things are going to look radically different. Hope is going to be returning. We just need to make it through this emotional journey through the underworld, which is where we're at right now, but it is going to have a positive impact on us going forward in the grand scheme of things. And after we get through the weekend, the moon moves to Leo, the light comes back, the day breaks, and the shadows flee away. And God wants us to know. Universe, Great Spirit, this is the message that we need to keep in mind as we are navigating what, again, could be a darker energy weekend. So that's what I have to say, you guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of something to help you navigate your weekend this weekend. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like this kind of content, be interested in this type of thing as well. Leave me comments. I love your comments, you guys. I'm so grateful for your presence here. I really appreciate knowing how this energy is impacting you guys. Thank you so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other socials. Those are in my description box below if you're into any of that. Come back with me on Monday, you guys. We've got another pretty big energy day on Monday. I had it circled in my notes. Let's see, the 14th, the sun in exact trine to Neptune and Venus in exact trine to Jupiter. We are turning the page, you guys, and like I said, the moon will be in Leo. Monday is going to be a radically different day from the energy that we have playing out Sunday. So don't lose hope. Things are going to be changing a lot. We're going to get some good news, and we are likely to be feeling a lot better about things moving into the energy for Monday. So you'll want to be here to talk about it, and I'll be here too. You don't want to miss it. So I will see you then, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. Remember, the day will break and the shadows will flee away. Don't get caught in the darkness. I will see you back here on Monday. And until then, you guys, bye.